And we're back, everybody, for Game 2, FlyQuest versus 100 Thieves here on the Academy program. What a game, number one, Cubby. We set it up to be this mega match for the week, for the entire season. And it felt like FlyQuest were just going to completely shut out 100 Thieves, but they held on, fought till the end, but it wasn't enough. Kumo and Jose Deodo got too strong, and FlyQuest clutched it out.
This top lane setup for Tenacity, I know that we're later into the game, but you can see at the 13-minute mark, FlyQuest, they were already up 6k gold before that shutdown came in, and Tenacity is down 2 levels in the top lane. It's just because the setup in the top lane for FlyQuest was so good. Tenacity got behind a level, needed Kenvi to come and try and crash the wave when he was level 5 against Viego, level 6, and Kumo got a kill, made him pay for it, got a huge freeze, and Tenacity was just out of the game since there. To be fair to him, he actually had a really big impact on this game. And a lot of these replays, we're seeing the turns from 100 Thieves, but there were so many impressive picks, impressive plays early from FlyQuest that got them this lead and helped them get the win in the end. But love to see 100 Thieves give it a fight, right? I think that they are known for their mechanical prowess in team fights later in the game in Academy. And it's nice to see them at least showing some of those strengths against this FlyQuest squad in this one. They're going to need that a lot in Game 2, Kangas, because this is the first time since Week 1 where 100 Thieves have not been sitting atop of the standings. With that win, FlyQuest are now solo first, and 100 Thieves need to win this game to draw the series and get back into a tied first position.
And again, they're head-to-head. They're 1-1 against each other based on the earlier matchup in the season. So they would still be tied here if they pick up this win. 100 Thieves, they're hoping for it. They're looking for it. We've seen them look shakier in these last couple of weeks. We did mention that going into today's show, that out of their 6 losses, 4 of them have been within the last 2 weeks. Well, now out of their 7 losses, 5 have. Little concerning here when you're looking at the squad that looked so dominant and might be slumping slightly here as they crescent into the second half of the split. But they still are a dangerous team, especially when they drop that Game 1. They do have a tendency to bounce back hard in Game 2.
This is true, and it's not like their losses are, like, they got 2-0'd by TL back when Armeo was playing, and that didn't feel great, but also dropping to this team, I think no shame for the Academy squad, right? Yeah. And this is an LCS level team. The fact that they're at least throwing down the gauntlet as the game goes on, it was a disastrous early game, and props to them for keeping it close, but they need to kind of fix and aid that early game, and my eye immediately goes towards that Viego, Kangas, because for FlyQuest, it is a triple flex. It's been played by Palafox, Jose Deodo, and of course Kumo in that last game. I do not want to see that pick get through once again for FlyQuest, and if it does, then I want to see 100 Thieves have a little bit better idea of how to deal with it.
At least have a better understanding of how to help out that top lane, because Tenacity, that lane for the first 6-7 minutes of the game was permanently froze right at Kumo's turret. He had that lane exactly where he wanted it, and then he had Jose Deodo coming in to help him out, go for those ganks earlier on. And 100 Thieves were just never able to break that freeze. If 100 Thieves didn't have that kind of early game, if Tenacity did not get shut out like that, we had this hypothetical between the break. It's like, their setups for these objectives were clean. Their team fighting was clean. 100 Thieves, if they weren't so far behind in gold from the get-go, that would have been a very different looking game played out for the rest. Obviously, you can say that anytime one team gets an early lead, but 100 Thieves specifically are going to be looking at that as they approach this next pick and ban phase to say, maybe we do just take it with a Viego. Otherwise, maybe we try and get some more tools to help shut down that top lane if it's starting to snowball out of control again.
And Gwen is something that Tenacity, mostly known for his brawler play and carry top play. I think that 100 Thieves have oftentimes looked best when they're playing towards him, which I thought they'd have the setup to do, but just didn't respect that early timer. Gave up first blood. The wave state was pretty doomed. Kenvi was pathing away from him, and it's a little bit of a miscommunication with that first 3-wave setup, and FlyQuest punished that to perfection, honestly, on their side. I mean, credit to them, right? There's a reason that they are an LCS squad. They're so good, so really love to see that. And the teamwork from Jose Deodo and Dreams, they lacked that in LCS. It was really good in that last one.
And something that I had thought about going into this match, Cubby, we talked about this leading in, is 100 Thieves, they can try and match Kumo top lane. Tenacity does have the potential, I believe, to actually match Kumo in that 1v1 or 2v2 if they put pressure up there. But you also have Luger. You have a superstar AD carry who gets these advantages in laning phase, and you can try and play through bot lane instead. If your option is just put Tenacity on weak side, just say, okay, you're not going to get the Gwen, you're going to get something that just will lose gracefully and hopefully stay under turret the whole time, but we will get a winning bot lane and try and play through there, as opposed to this last time where they just kind of hand-trick bot side saying, yeah, nothing's going to happen. And then Dreams on the Nautilus was all over the map, which is something that obviously we don't see as often in LCS. Dreams wasn't known for roaming and finding a lot of plays with Jose Diego, but he did in that last game. So now I think 100 Thieves, if you can get a stronger bot side, that would be my approach going into this game, is try and play through Luger, because this is a player that if you can get him ahead, he will hard carry you games.
And if you are just joining us for Academy, it says, you're a FlyQuest fan or you're just tuning in to, you saw it's a hype match. I think Luger might be the strongest player we have in Academy up there with contracts. They're both really insane.
And I guess Jose Diego and Kumo now, because
yeah, I'd put Kumo like maybe up third, but Luger this split has been just a crazy AD. I mean, he started his split off by they split those games 1-1 with C9 when Sven was playing, and he kind of styled on Sven in one of those games. Now Sven got him back real good in the next one, but that's the level that we can expect out of this former TCL MVP that is now in Academy. And I want to see if he's able to step up in this one, because Johnson on the Ziggs definitely looked a little bit uncomfortable at times. Did not exactly respect Ryoma's the Blanc or the Graves at a couple instances of that game. As we're diving into the next phase of pick ban, and oh boy, looks like Jose Diego wants to take away some picks here from Kenby. He's showing some blood.
Xin Zhao banned, Diana banned, two strong junglers that Kenby will not be piloting right now. And also Fiddlesticks and Nocturne taken away from 100 Thieves Academy side. So the jungle pool very limited right now. And of course Thresh ban, pretty expected. Sometimes I'm surprised to see that on the blue side though, because I think you could first pick it personally. But all right, okay. Viego wasn't banned, but is first picked by 100 Thieves.
I was kind of teasing the fact that I wanted to see how they deal with Viego. First pick is one way to deal with that, right? So going to secure that one for themselves. Now they do give up something like a Kawi Lee Sin or a Kawi Gwen, which you could pair with Lee Sin. And I mean, I would love to see Jose Diego's Lee Sin again. I just want to see if 100 Thieves have a better game plan for it, because holy smokes, this guy is pretty damn good at Lee Sin. Yeah.
That's 2 games in a row. He absolutely popped off. Still technically a flex pick, so we can't say for certain that Jose Diego will be piloting it right now, but based on those last 2 games, I expect it for sure. But the Kali lock-in, also very strong. Can be blind picked, but also, if you want to play into the Viego, can still do a decent enough job right there. But what does 100 Thieves Academy want to answer with? Because Karma, Lulu, still on the table. They lock in the Kindred, and they lock in the Lulu. All right, they're going back to classics.
So this is something that is countered by Lee Sin. You can kick Kindred out of the Lamb's Respite. There are ways to deal with it. But this is a bread and butter comp for 100 Thieves Academy. And we were teasing the Kenby Kindred if he'd still opt into the matchup in the last game, because it wasn't the best. He's going to take it this game. And he is very, very good on this champion. Multiple pentakills we've seen throughout his career in semi-pro, in solo queue. We've seen him go off on it earlier this split, where I think he flashed in 1v5 against C9 in the game that they won, and still managed to win the fight.
That was a ridiculous fight. I remember that one for sure.
He sees things on this champion that no one else on the server sees, and so I want to see if he's able to pull that out against Jose Diego, as he is opting into a bad matchup in isolation, but of course having that Lulu should help.
And the thing is, FlyQuest are also trying to give the Lulu an even rougher lane. They lock in this Jayce. This is something that the Lulu can definitely struggle against. He will outrange you. He will outdamage you. He will outpoke you. All of the things that the Lulu typically can get away with in a lane if they can't pressure her early on. Jayce does a good job of pressuring her. So FlyQuest, they're trying to shut down in laning phase what 100 Thieves Academy are attempting to draft.
And of course, bot laners left up. I think 100 Thieves is going to take away some poke champions here, not pair up with Jayce. So I would not be surprised to take away Ezreal as well. Whereas you're trying to narrow the support pool of whom should be a Braum taken away here next. Yep. As you don't want to compare that with the Kindred and the next marksman. One thing that I want to see FlyQuest do, put a Kali top. Because Lulu Kindred, you need the Lulu to be mid to have it be very effective. But Lulu actually has a fantastic laning phase into a Kali. So I want to see them put that Akali top, put the Jayce mid to force 100 Thieves into a decision. Do I put the Lulu into a bad matchup where she can pair up with Kindred with the jungle? Or do I put her top in a good matchup where, might not be as strong? We're expecting Ryoma to pilot that. Tenacity has one play of Lulu. Not known for it. It's made a joke that he was first timing it on stage. And Kangas, your head is going up because it's going to be an early lock-in for Calista. It's a deny pick against Luger. And also says that FlyQuest, once again, we're going all out in the early game.
If FlyQuest didn't lock that in, I was going to say this is a Calista Taric angle for 100 Thieves. You just lock it in right away. But now that Calista's off the table, I don't know if the Taric is as valid. You can't pair it with as much. But
Probably,
the Xayah, still
okay.
a lot of kite back potential here. Do they go for the Rakan?
I like the pick from Luger. I mean, everyone goes in. It's decent into Calista. And I'm not surprised the quick Leona lock in here. Very good into Lulu and into Rakan. So 100 Thieves, they are counter-picking themselves at a couple instances here. That's going to happen on blue side here and there. But they're still going for a comp that they feel like it is built on the shoulders of Kenvi and Luger to go off. And these are two players that 400 Thieves Academy, it's one of the reasons they're sitting at the top of the table is how impressive these two players have been in their roles.
But Cubby, we both wanted the Akali top lane and the Jayce mid. We might not get it. FlyQuest Academy currently, they still can't swap it up. So let's see what they decide to do here in the last couple seconds. Or, I mean, they could also, just put Kumo in the mid lane, Palafox in the top lane. If it just comes down to a champion comfort thing. But hopefully we do get to see those matchups swapped, because otherwise, if this is the lane assignment, I think 100 Thieves are feeling really confident. It's going to be tough for FlyQuest to really win through any of their lanes.
And if I'm FlyQuest, recamp gank, right? That's what I'm thinking about on the Sin. I have gank assist in both of my side lanes, so I think it's really important that 100 Thieves get that scouting ward down, try and get Kenvi off to a safe start, and get him through the first 9 levels of the game, because that is very important for Kenvi. Because even when you hit level 6, Lee Sin, like level 6 through 9, is really, really powerful as a champion. We've seen Jose Deodo take advantage of that every single time he's gotten his hands on one of his favorites. And I want to see if 100 Thieves can survive that. It can utilize the power of Lulu to help out, but it's not going to be enough in the end. And we're going to have to see if 100 Thieves can turn the ship around, even up the standings once again at the top, and take this game 2 up against FlyQuest, who, of course, their LCS squad playing in Academy this week. A little bit of a flip-flop scenario. Their Academy team has been fantastic as well. They've gotten them to this point in the standings. The LCS team wants to give them a little bit of the gift, say, hey, no matter what happens in the future, when we come back down here, we're in first, right? That's the goal.
Golden Glue, when we interviewed him earlier in the season, said, wish you could see our scrim records. We're taking games off of LCS teams. He had very high hopes for this Academy roster of 100 Thieves to even be able to bring it to the LCS starting rosters. This was their chance. This was their moment to say, okay, let's actually put pen to paper and put paper to execution here on the Rift now. And FlyQuest are up 1-0 in the series. 100 Thieves still have a chance to even it up, stay tied for first place right now. But FlyQuest, with their LCS roster in, they can take first place for themselves. We're in the early stages of the game right now, Cubby, so let's catch up on what the game plan is for these junglers. Jose Deodo started on the bot side, so is Kenvi, and when you think about that, Kindred, you were saying yourself, you want to scale up a little bit, and it's going to be up to Jose Deodo to probably try and make the first plays, find out Kenvi.
It's bot to top once again. Now, I was talking about hitting the Akali top to force the Lulu to match that. This is a good lane matchup. The polymorph, the shield, the early harass is ranged in the melee. It feels very good for Lulu. But Jayce does win both side lanes. So it's really just, with this start for FlyQuest, I think they're really committing to, we want to play through Kumo once again. This is the person that carried us in the early game of the last game. We feel like we can do it again. As a flash comes in, there's no cleanse.
Goes in, exhaust onto Johnson. FlyQuest trying to hard commit for the kill. They're not going to find it, but they will get a good chunk onto Luger, but that is both summoner spells blown from Dreams.
Big commit. That's actually not bad for 100 Thieves Academy. As you can see, Kenvi, this is the same exact pathing that Johnson did in the last one. Red to Raptors to Gromp. If you do this, you can hit the top timer earlier, as Gromp is down fast, and Kenvi skipping over that blue buff, potentially going for it. Kumo is shoved up, as he might be looking to punish the same mistake. Can he sneak on over?
Oh, Kenvi's over the wall. He spotted Jose Deodo, but Jose Deodo doesn't have the red buff. Kenvi does. The Kindred's doing some damage. Jose Deodo trying to lifesteal up with that Conqueror, but that's a lot of damage back from Kenvi, and he was still taking damage from red buff. Kenvi gets it. Jose Deodo has to flash away. Red buff stolen, flash blown. FlyQuest jungler put on the back foot.
We talked about how this is a bread and butter combo for 100 Thieves. The Lulu has Plyo, so she can go threaten to help out. And Kenvi on the Kindred, Lee Sin's halfway through the camp. He doesn't have his cooldown, so Kenvi takes advantage of the situation, forces Jose Deodo out early. And FlyQuest, the team that needs to make a mark early, already falling a little bit behind, but now Kumo rotating down, getting a ward, scouts out the fact that that has been taken, the crab. for 100 Thieves is Kenvi now moving on to the Raptors. We are going to have a trade. And 100 Thieves, their bot lane does have to be a little bit careful now. They need to keep the wave here. If they push a little bit too far, can't have Dreams try and find that engage, sync up Luisin to get an early kill in the lane.
Dreams doesn't have flash, though, so FlyQuest, when they're pushing this far forward, they're trusting that Kenvi's still topside. But look at Kumo. He's shoved up, too. FlyQuest are simultaneously putting pressure on both sides of the map. I think Kumo, this is a little aggressive right now. 100 Thieves aren't actually capitalizing on it. Okay.
Jose Dodo has to go for this play. Because you can see Kenvi, he's just ruining the topside jungle for FlyQuest. He left one of the Raptors, so he knows he's not going to contest the respawn. He's going to let Jose Dodo clear that out. He still has his entire bot side to clear. He hasn't touched his Krugs. Jose Dodo has to wait for the Gromp respawn, and he is getting punished early by Kenvi, who, once again, we said that this is a comfort pick for him, a bread-and-butter comp for 100 Thieves Academy. They're showing why.
I'm surprised that Kenvi didn't go for the gank topside. Kumo was very far forward, and they could have looked for a dive, but they say, no, let's not throw away a lead. They're happy with just the lead that Kenvi's getting from the out-jungling of Jose Deodo. He will back. He'll pick up 2 longswords and go right back to his bottom side. He also got that first mark, too. We didn't mention that, but on the top scuttle, he picked it up. So he's got one in the pocket here. Hasn't gotten that kill yet, but even though the gold's dead even, we are favoring 100 Thieves Academy in this current game state just because they have been out-jungling, or outpacing, rather, Jose Deodo in the jungle clear. That means that Kenvi will be coming online in a very safe manner before FlyQuest can really make a play.
It's all about the mid-jungle duo here, 400 Thieves, as they've used this comp to win so many games. I believe Ryoma is still undefeated on Karma and Lulu. 3 plays on each, 3-0 on each. Will be his 4th Lulu play as FlyQuest trying to rinse and repeat the strategy from last game. Dreams ditching that bot lane early. This top lane timer, can they find the dive? The wave is shoving back out for Tenacity. It is spotted on the ward, but can they guess that the onus here?
Not quite. That Hex Splash coming out. Tenacity's got to dodge this. Okay, commit splash. Tenacity says, no, we are not going to die, but now he's half health, and the turret will be shoved. FlyQuest could still potentially look for this, but look at Kenvi. Oh, they see him spotting. They see him backing. He's going to cancel the back, actually, so Jose Deodo has to jump out. Dreams trying to run away now. Still doesn't have that flash, but Kenvi will not overcommit. Man, I'm just waiting for something to explode right now, Kenvi, because both of these teams, they are looking for it.
This does favor 100 Thieves, though. That one item spike with the Shirelia's Battle Song, if they are able to find it. In fact, they outscale in their roles. Playing this, though, early game benefits the playstyle that we've seen give this team so much success throughout this early season of Academy. And the fact that this is going slow for the Academy squad going up against FlyQuest, it is what they needed. The last game got blown up by Jose Deodo. Kenvi has already gotten his flash, has gave his team about 3-4 minutes where there is not a lot of pressure on the Rift. 100 Thieves has been playing out their first few waves much better, as this mark will get denied, but Kenvi is still very far ahead in the jungle. Look at that CS.
20 up. Now only 15, but still, Kenvi absolutely further ahead. He's a level up. Jose Deodo just hit level 5, but Kenvi will hit level 6. Well ahead of Jose Deodo, barring any crazy plays that will happen here. So FlyQuest, they're going to have to figure out how do they get themselves into this game here. The gold's still pretty much dead even. It's not like anything's been blown out of a recoverable state. But they need to be concerned because the composition from 100 Thieves, they're hitting their big power spike, or at least where their composition starts to come online here. As Ryoma's level 7 on the Lulu, can be just at level 6. Fox looking for damage onto Ryoma. Doesn't hard commit onto it, and also took teleport instead of ignites. It doesn't have a lot of kill pressure onto the Lulu.
It's not a lane where you can really ever get a kill as a Kali if it's played out right by the Lulu. Which Ryoma, a very powerful Lulu that we have. It sounds weird to compliment someone's Lulu mechanics, but we've seen Ryoma actually win all 3 lanes in games on Lulu, with his map presence, his ability to play out this champion. As get a nice look at Jose Deodo taking the Cloud Drake. Unfortunately, this does not go towards FlyQuest, Sunny Quest mission this time around.
True.
But it's A-okay.
If there's an ocean, maybe.
That one.
But the thing is, Kenvi trades for a marked topside, so he went for the Raptors, and he took away the big Raptor, getting that mark.
He is spotted out, though, by Kumo right now. And FlyQuest is sprinting up here to try and contest, get him out of that jungle, save Jose Deodo's top lane camps. They take the Krugs and leave. He left one of the Raptors once again, so still Kenvi leaving those small camps behind, preventing Jose Deodo from getting more XP and trying to get himself an advantage in the jungle, which is something that historically against Academy junglers, when Kenvi gets an advantage, He does not give it up. He wins the game with any advantage that he's able to get. So this is going to be a good test for him. Can he take down Jose Deodo on his favorite champion?
Yeah, usually against FlyQuest, it's the NXI rematch. The two junglers that were developed on 100 Thieves Next program. Now it's Jose Deodo. Speaking of, Lee Sin is here. Doesn't matter that he's down 10 CS currently. He's still pushing Kenvi off of this. They even have Dreams roaming up from the bottom side here too. So support advantage currently for FlyQuest. 100 Thieves will send Poom to answer.
They're pulling Xayah up, so they're giving up solo gold, XP, and plates, threatening that. As Xayah now retreats on a ward, so FlyQuest know that if they want to take this 4v4, they do have it. This is where Lulu Kindred are so powerful. You can see Ryoma can be synced up. FlyQuest need to one-shot Kindred before she's able to get down that damage
experiences.
Yeah,
does he know the power of the Lulu Kindred? That's a lot of damage on Kindred, but there's the wild growth. Kenvi still alive. Poom with the re-engage. Jose Deodo almost dead immediately. They're trading back and forth, but FlyQuest get 2. FlyQuest get 3. FlyQuest chasing down 100 Thieves Academy, and they'll even chase Ryoma under the top turret. A massive team fight win for FlyQuest.
And 100 Thieves, they get the Rift Hero, but they can't pick it up. So that is so big that FlyQuest are able to deny that from going over to the Thieves, as the Lulu Kindred, it's a powerful combo, but it's not online quite yet. You can see the Lamb's Respite from Kenvi wasn't able to get that down to save the members of 100 Thieves. And they try their best to take that early skirmish, that early fight, but ultimately get outplayed by the upfront damage and the CC of FlyQuest. As they get 4 kills, they're up 1k. So important for their composition moving forward to Kangas, as they need to win out this early game.
Let's take another look at this. It looks like things are going well for 100 Thieves. Poom with the engage, but look at this damage that comes in from Kumo in particular.
Yeah, I mean, Kumo taking everyone down. Kenvi, he still has the Lamb's Respite, but gets stunned up, so he's not able to use it to save himself, try and get everyone low, and then clean up the fight from there. And then Lulu just ends up getting chased down, has no one else to buff up. Good play from FlyQuest once again. All these rumors of 100 Thieves Academy having good scrim records against LCS teams, thinking that they can take down some of the best up there. They don't want to prove that on the stage. They have something to prove themselves. They should be the ones playing up at the next level. As, hey, all you can do is play good league no matter where you're at, and FlyQuest doing that here in Academy.
Again, Jose Deodo, Kumo, very strong carries this time around. Palafox joining them. Luger might have been caught out here as the Xayah Feather recall does lock down Dreams, and now Dreams too far forward, but there we go. Johnson with the save. Fate's Call pulls him back in, and 100 Thieves are going to find nothing.
A lot burned there from both teams, but ultimately both teams end up retreating. Nothing significantly lost across the rift here, Kangas, as we do have a rare breather. As, oh, I lied. Ryoma, that's the combo.
Yeah,
TP.
Going for it. Jumps in onto Ryoma. The Lulu in some trouble. Jose Deodo with a kick, but that's Kenvi. He's still wild growth. He just chases down Palafox. Kenvi gets the shutdown. 100 Thieves turn to play, but Kumo had teleported in. He's chasing down Ryoma. This Lulu is now the target, but they turn back onto Kenvi. Now Lamb's Respite comes down. Now Jose Deodo doesn't have the kick anymore, so Kenvi still falls because there's too many members of FlyQuest around.
FlyQuest, they win it 2-for-1. The big thing, though, is the fact that Xayah is going to get some free time in the bot lane. So that is a little bit of free time for Luger to try and scale on up. It's only a 1k gold deficit still. Couple shutdowns going over on Kenvi, who has wrapped up the Kraken Slayer. But I love watching FlyQuest play around this composition. They're playing it very well, right? They're trying to land the CC at the last second, catch him off guard, and now Luger might get caught off guard here by Palafox.
Oh, he doesn't have the ultimate anymore, and the Shuriken flip lands. He'll take it. Easy pickup for Palafox. The mid laner for FlyQuest. We've been talking so much about Jose Deodo, so much about Kumo this entire game, this entire series. But this Akali also putting in work.
Palafox very quietly, 3-1-3 on a champion that got outplayed by Ryoma once or twice in the last game, but also had some really clean Akali mechanics. Landed the combo there, a beautiful R into E. You can cancel that animation. Ends up getting chased down by Kenvi with the TP on the back half. And once again, you can see the power of the Kindred Lulu, right? Kenvi, not afraid of anything with the power of the Lulu in his back pocket. Ultimately does get chased down. These early skirmishes against the powerful early team of FlyQuest, very difficult for them to come out on top, as ends up getting shut down. A well-timed shock blast there from Kumo. Prevents Jose Deodo from going down. As, oh, we get the super replay. See the TP as well.
We do. Palafox lands the first Shuriken flip and takes down Luger here. The biggest thing there is that Wild Growth was used onto Kenvi early on, not after the Lamster Spike. That's where the power of the Kindred Lulu really comes online, is even if you think you catch Kindred, Lamster Spike comes down, Lulu's right behind the Kindred, and then throws out Wild Growth right as the healing comes through. So then suddenly everyone's knocked up and Kenvi's alive. But because that wasn't available, big pickup for FlyQuest. They'll also get a second dragon now. That's Ocean, and it will be an Infernal Soul on the map. FlyQuest, they're not out of it, Cubby. They're up 1,000 gold. They are stacking these dragons, despite the fact that 100 Thieves have a very strong scaling composition. FlyQuest do have a lead. They could look to snowball.
So they forced Ryoma off mid. This is some free time with the mid turret. Do not go for the play. Kumo actually ends up retreating because he doesn't have vision of where Kenvi is on that top side. Playing very cautiously around that wave as the lack of vision has to respect that Kenvi could be there with Ryoma. Now that he shows mid, he's back. And of course, you can see Under Thieves, their bot lane once again. A little bit of a split map scenario. So Zadioto is wrapping around behind. They might be looking for a play. Dreams is coming too.
Boom and Luger very far forward. Luger has ult but no summoner spells. Xayah could be susceptible to this. The FlyQuest are not going to wait in the shadows. They don't want to waste time. And they also see that there's a stack right now. Kindred mark on the top half of the map. We see Kenvi pinging it out right now. He wants to go for it. He's going for the dive, though, actually. It was the mark on the Raptors, I believe. And now Kumos, he's cleared the wave. Boom's coming up here, too. 100 Thieves have 3 members, but Kumo already chunks down Kenvi. And with Jose Deoto there, 100 Thieves have to call it off.
Yeah, the issue with 100 Thieves' early aggression is that, yes, it's only a 1.5k gold deficit for them, but that gold went over to Jayce and Akali, and this Jayce with Eclipse already very fed, as Kenvi has to respect this. They don't know that Dreams is here yet. Now they do.
But they do have Ryoma here as well. Dreams trying to lock members down, but the re-engage comes through. They're focusing Dreams. They're focusing the Leona.
Boom.
CC tank is down. FlyQuest, no support. They're going to have to back off. But they do still have that top turret. Kumo's still catching the wave. 100 Thieves, they won't get an objective for this other than save maybe the Rift Herald if they want to invest the time.
They're going to take the Rift Herald. That was so well played by Poom. The battle dance onto in the back half. Doesn't lead to any kills on those 2 members, but it prevents the follow-up of FlyQuest. And 100 Thieves, the war of attrition is the way that you can win easily with this comp. With the Kindred Lulu. You have to prevent anyone from getting one shot, which FlyQuest certainly have the potential to do with the tools that they have in their back pocket. If you prevent people from getting one shot, that's where Kindred Lulu really thrives. The extended team fights, utilizing the shielding, the wild growth, as you called out, Kangas. And now 100 Thieves.
That's really like the first big skirmish that 100 Thieves have walked away from since we've crested the 15 or the 10-minute mark. You know, we're out of laning phase. They're walking around, and they don't even have their 2 items yet. This is still 1 item on Kenvi. This is still 1 item on Tenacity and Luger. Once they scale up, once they have 2 to 3 items, it's going to get harder and harder for FlyQuest to try and fight those moments.
And that's big because when you think about 100 Thieves and, you know, the map state, what FlyQuest has done early, yes, they have a 1k gold lead, but also securing those first 2 dragons, you pressure 100 Thieves to try and fight you for the rest of them. And for a team that's a little bit stronger early, I think that FlyQuest are really going to push hard around this next dragon. And 100 Thieves have a tough choice to make, right? Do we fight FlyQuest when they're a little bit stronger at the moment? Or do we wait a little bit more time, let Envy get a couple more items, and sack away Soul Point for the rest of the game? That's not a choice that a lot of teams will make. So I'm expecting 100 Thieves to contest the next dragon coming up here in about $140.
Especially since they have all this setup. They have all this ward placement down, full vision control, but look at FlyQuest. They're sending everybody topside to gank Ryoma, but Poom's diving onto Kumo. They'll lock Kumo down. This will be a pickup now for the Thieves. No trade back. Shut down gold over to Tenacity. And meanwhile, Ryoma survived topside. FlyQuest sent everybody up there to get Lulu, and they do not find him.
Poom's yet to play Rakan in this season, and I have to say, I want to see him on more Rakan after this one. Rakan has been beautiful so far in this game as we have the Herald spawned. And a little bit of trading going on around the map. Johnson funneled gold, whereas 100 Thieves trying to push another turret, trying to get that mid-inner, and with the help of Shelly, V2, they're able to get it. And 100 Thieves, this mid-game, we complimented their mid-game setups. They take the gold lead back against FlyQuest Academy. They're going to reset. They will not have first say on the maps. They're resetting later, but they just got a huge injection of gold, so they're going to spend that, trying to get back out onto the map. And let's see if FlyQuest can fix their side lanes and if Kumo can get into the river first. If he's able to get in first and 100 Thieves eat a couple too many shock blasts, they might have to give away that dragon. If
But
not,
FlyQuest aren't
you're gonna try and
necessarily
fight
setting
fast.
it up.
Yeah,
Kumo's
Jose
pushing
Deodo's
bot
late.
side.
He's real late.
Jose
He
Deodo
just faced.
recalled. Oh no. This is the moments. This is where watching LCS, we would say, okay, Jose Deodo and the rest of the team seem to be on different wavelengths. Jose Deodo resets separately from everybody else, and he's now going to have to approach this dragon. 100 Thieves already had wards down. They do have flanking TP plays for Tenacity, but they don't need it. They're already back up on the map here. Kenvy's going to go very far forward. This is what he does on the Kindred, but he might be punished right now. Dream's locking him down for a while. FlyQuest, the rest of the members are here. Sonic Wave misses. Kenvy's still alive. Over the wall goes Palafox, but he CC'd him.
He did it.
Luger's still alive.
No way.
Kill as Tenacity. The resets, but 100 Thieves, they're still pushing forward. Palafox, he's a danger. He's a threat, but he doesn't hit the shuriken flip. Tenacity so strong on this Viego. They have to play through him. It's a 1-for-2 trade. 100 Thieves do walk out on top, but FlyQuest, they're still healthy enough. Jose Deodo might still be able to turn this one around. All right, sorry for the delay, everybody. Apparently somebody hit the Nocturne ult button on production, so we got the Lee Sin POV view for a bit there. But we are ready to get back into game. We were able to get back to where we left off from, so we won't miss any of the action, any of the information there.
We're at a tense moment.
But it's in a tense moment, so we're just going to hop back in and see what we can do here, because just to set the stage, Dragon Soul Point for FlyQuest right now. If they get this, this is their third. And they're recalling Palafox to teleport in. 4 members of 100 Thieves are there, but some lower health bars. So whenever production is ready, we're going to hop back into this one. Again, apologies for the delays right there, everybody. But we should be getting into this one shortly. Cubby, this series is delivering, man. This is crazy.
This game, it's so tense right now. Like, that was just the perfect time to, you know, have a pause, right? It's like in between like 2 fights going on. And 100 Thieves, I think they're going to stick it for the Dragon. And I want to see if Palafox can clean up. It's 3v4, but he has cooldowns. And Kindred's, though, doesn't have Lamb's Respite. Yeah. So it's going to be close. I think 100 Thieves have to go for it. They're going to sweat it out. But, oh, man, we're at a very close state. To remind you of the stakes of this game as well, 100 Thieves need to win this to stay tied for first at the end of the day. If FlyQuest win this, they solidify themselves in solo first place. So a lot on the line.
And FlyQuest, they came in here, if you listen to Jose Deodo's interview yesterday, he said that they're expected to win. You know, if they lose, it looks way worse on them as an LCS roster than it does on the Academy team looking good for taking down an LCS roster. This is the toughest Academy roster that we can field from the Academy. And they could still 2-0. They are slightly behind right now. Gold State is pretty much even, but they don't have the scaling comp. So they're going to have to accelerate this game state a little bit if they want to get back into this one. And stacking those dragons is definitely a strategy to do that. But man, this is such a close game number 2 here. And 100 Thieves Academy, I got to say, I'm predicting that they can clutch this out. But here we go. We're back into the game here. There's the teleport coming in from Palafox. Like we had said, Jose Deodo takes a big chunk. Now Johnson as well. You got to get out of there. Dragon's doing a lot of damage, though. Palafox is back in. The teleport worked. 100 Thieves, they need to escape. They don't have ultimates.
Yep.
Palafox takes down Kenvy. That's going to be Dragon to FlyQuest.
Okay, so FlyQuest, Palafox, the TP, they stick it out. They get the Dragon. That's Soul Point. That's a big win for FlyQuest, who get outscaled as the game goes on. 100 Thieves overextending a little bit too much there, trying to go for it. I know that they want to really push hard to get that Dragon. Denying that Soul Point would be huge, but Kenvy going down. That's the
jungler. For Baron?
They're walking towards it. They're going to force a TP out. Do they stick it?
Double TP from 100 Thieves. Tenacity and Ryoma hop in here just to try and stop this, but FlyQuest are already on it. Look at Poom, very far back right now. 100 Thieves, they only have 2 members right here. Even Kenvy was back because he was still respawning. So Baron, yeah, it's going over. FlyQuest just got the 3rd Dragon, and they're on the Baron, but no, they will peel back. Okay, they don't want to hard commit to this.
Yeah. When Kenvy gets back, that's a spite. They do not want to overcommit, as you stated, but they do drop tempo off that play. 100 Thieves, they have a chance to make an answer. Have camps up on the top side. I'm curious to see if they go in as... All right, we got to take a deep breath. That was a lot of tension for a couple minutes. Thank you for sticking with us. If you are still with us in this game as 100 Thieves Academy, starting up the Baron, they saw the base of FlyQuest. DPs are down.
A lot of DPS with the Kindred and the Xayah, but there are still wards. FlyQuest, Jose Deodo, and Kuma are still here. The Goon Squad, the 2 brothers. that have been given hell to 100 Thieves Academy. But Baron's low. Jose Deoto, is he going to go for it? 100 Thieves peel off. They want to go for the engage. Jose Deoto's over the wall. Boom follows, but there's no follow-up. Where's the damage? Jose Deoto's buying so much time. They go back in. Jose Deoto takes out Kenvy's out of the fight. FlyQuest take down 2. They're slaughtering the Thieves, and they will wipe the team fight. Even Luger goes down 5-0. FlyQuest Academy, they did it.
Oh, the young Academy team, they just trip over their shoelaces. They try to stick the Baron. They get cold feet, and it gets turned on, as you called it out, Kangas. They tried to go on Jose Deoto. They did not have the follow-up. They burned the cooldowns, and Kenvy walking into that narrow choke. Dreams and Kumo sync up. They find the Kindred, take down the Kindred, and now this is Baron and everything else that the FlyQuest squad could have possibly wished for. Going over to them, as we talked about how they needed to get this lead, needed to secure a positive enough lead in order to snowball this game through. That's exactly what the doctor ordered for them. Now they have Baron up, Soul Point coming up soon, and every possibility imaginable to shut down 100 Thieves Academy.
And off the back of Palafox on the Akali, Jose Deoto and Kumo had the carry performance in game number 1, but this time around, Palafox throwing his name into that list as well. Very impressive performances, especially in that last team fight. And the game state right now, FlyQuest, they have the gold lead, a sizable one as well. They had struggled to get any lead, and they were losing to the scaling composition of the Thieves. But now with Baron, now with gold in their pocket, they can actually be the ones to dictate the flow of the game.
And first Baron, it's so important to knock down those side names. Oh, another fight.
Okay, Dreams could die here. Well, Fate's Call saves him. Johnson gets out Leona. This is what FlyQuest needed. Save Dreams when he's getting engaged on by enemy teams. And try and bait them into false sense of security. A lot of damage on the Kenvy there too. The range, the poke from Johnson, from Kumo. Kenvy starting to feel it right now. Ooh, Ryoma takes a big shock blast too.
Kumo and
FlyQuest just dancing around the river.
The side laners are so accelerated, especially with Palafox. Picked up that turret that's 600 gold now. If you get the local gold with the new patch, he's going to get a second one. Another 600 gold injection into this Akali. And of course, Ryoma, that CS is though, because if you are Lulu at this point of the game, you're really not farming. You're getting everything you can into your big carry and Kenvy. But I think it's too much. I think these solo laners are way too strong. Look at the damage that Kumo's putting out. It's so hard to deal with.
And the momentum swing in FlyQuest's favor as well. They're not letting up. They just got Dragon, Baron fight, win, Baron, 3 turrets. What a swing of momentum in the last 3 minutes of the game.
It was one.
All right, apologies again, everybody. Still some technical issues as there is just a lot of stuff going on the back end over here, but we're working through it, and we are going to get back into the game at the same time that it last paused out at.
Fingers
so
crossed, guys.
We're into it already. Okay, whoo, Cubby, table setting, because we're in the end. Hello and welcome back, everyone. Big disappointment. Our hearts are broken. I know, Cubby, we were really excited to see the end of that game, but unfortunately, due to repeated technical issues, we are not going to be able to show the end of the game. We would have loved to go back and view it, but it's just the scheduling is too big of an issue right now. We got to move forward on with the rest of the games for the day. So, but Cubby, we do have a winner, so let's talk about them. Despite 100 Thieves getting an early lead there, FlyQuest did bring it back and were able to clutch it out. An insane swing of momentum. They had that fight at the Dragon. They went and got the Baron, fought the Baron, killed it, took multiple turrets, and then in the next 5 minutes after that pause, were able to close out the game.
Yeah, I didn't get a wrapping up like timestamp and how quick that last game was, but they were up 6k gold swing in about 3 minutes there, just based off some really good play. And a couple of rough decisions from 100 Thieves Academy. But that last game, very close. Bummer we couldn't finish it out. But unfortunately, we do not have an interview with FlyQuest. It is Palafox's birthday.
Happy birthday, Palafox!
Yeah, you might have caught that earlier. But, you know...
we might have had hot mics.
Hey, that's all right. The 2-0 for Palafox. The birthday is all good to go. And our goal is that we're getting things fixed, wrapped up, and ready for our last series of the day. We, of course, have one more.
The 4-0, Cubby, as they did
4-0.
also get a 2-0 yesterday.
Well,
so
yesterday wasn't his birthday, Kangas, so...
True. The 4-0 week birthday present. You know, I think we have a string now of players winning on their birthdays here. But congratulations to FlyQuest, the LCS roster coming in here. I'm excited to see how their Academy roster does in the LCS this weekend, too, because we expected this to be a close series, and it was. That game number 1, despite Tenacity getting shut out, they still fought back. Likewise, were able to clutch it out. But this game
was really close.
Thieves had an early game lead with the scaling comp, but FlyQuest were able to bring it back. So, I mean, the LCS players clearly motivated right now.
They looked really good in both their wins, and props to 100 Thieves Academy. I think we're really pitching this as obviously the fight between 2 first-place teams. Obviously, the LCS team dropping in. Made things a little bit more interesting in 100 Thieves Academy. Despite going 0-2, they still gave up a really good fight against a really solid team. So props to them. I think that they can take away a lot in VOD review, and hopefully they're going to bounce back strong next week going up against the rest of the Academy squads. But Angus, we're going to start moving into our last match of the day. I know it's not going to be right now, but TSM versus Immortals should be a fun one.
It's gonna be a fun one for sure. It's a long day. We're a little behind schedule, so we're gonna send it to a very, very micro, tiny, short break so that we can make sure that all the
energy drinks. That's why.
Yes, you got to chug some energy drinks, and we got to make sure that the players are ready to go in pick and ban. So we're gonna send it to that very short break. We will be back. Thank you everybody for sticking with us. We're trying our best to bring you the show and to show the talent, the skill of these players. So thanks for everybody for sticking with us. Congratulations to FlyQuest. After this break, we got Immortals taking on TSM.